Namaste. Namaste. What's going on, people? Greetings, peace, and blessings to everyone here and everyone who will come. Shalom. What's up? Of course, I'm going to say, I hope you had a great weekend. It is a absolutely beautiful day here in the great state of Texas. It's like 83 degrees. I'm like, wow, no winter again, huh? But it is absolutely gorgeous here. The weather's nice. Um, Went out and got me some supplies for some client work I needed to do. Other than that, I'm usually in the house if I'm not bowling in the league. You see what I'm saying? So, um, long weekend, but it was just like 40 degrees on Saturday. Now it's 82. Anybody who's experiencing cold weather or snow or anything like that, I'm not rubbing that in your face. I promise you I'm not. Um, Shout out to Katrina, who sends me a lot of good information. Today is her birthday. If y'all see her, come in. If she comes to this broadcast, wish her a happy solar return. Um, yeah. So who's here? What's going on, Tosh? Spring came early. Yes, Brother Moore, what's going on? Don't don't forget to hit that like button, share, subscribe. I will be doing an interview, not interview. I think it's just I think we're just having a chat on Saturday. If you can make it, um, you can make it to Peace Pipe TV. Here is the let me see if I can blow it up real quick. Um, let's see. I know I downloaded it. Yeah, here we go. Um, Damn, where did it go? Where did it go? Huh. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Sure. There we go. All right. Peace Pipe TV. Um, Let me know if y'all can see this. Okay, there we go. That's Saturday, the 24th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, and 4 p.m. Pacific. 4 p.m. specific. So yeah, I think we're just going to have a chat. I don't think I don't think it's an interview. I don't think they're interviewing me. I think they just wanted to have me on the talk. They just had Dr. Eileen Bay on there. Um, so if you can make it, that's where I'll be Saturday. Peace, brother Konami. Oh, you just shared it on. Thank you so much. Peace and love, Sister Moonfeather. Don't forget, Sister Moonfeather, the Mooniverse tomorrow. I think at 7 p.m. on her channel. Be there, be square. All right. There's always a lot of stuff for us to talk about. You know what I'm saying? All the time. It never stops at this place called Hell, the Hells of North America. Never stops. Like never. Um, let's see what we got here. Ah, oh, so I just found out that um Biaki, I didn't just find out about her country album. I knew it was coming, but She did an album cover with no panties on. Dora Pause? Half her career has been her basically naked. So why stop now? Why stop while you're promoting a country album? Why do it? Seriously, why stop the shit now? You know, there's a one of my Facebook friends posed a question on this particular picture. Now, I don't really care about celebrities. Y'all know this already. Anytime I'm bringing them up on this channel, it's just a talking point. That's pretty much it. But um, yeah, anyway, who cares? They're always going to be in the news, and people are still going to worship them. So what the fuck ever. I just am surprised. Actually, was surprised to see that her completely just about naked on a country album cover. I'm like, wow, okay. um, Whatever floats their boat, you know. It's crazy. Crazy. People got killed at the Chiefs parade. When you break down the gematria, it all fits. It's just like I said, it's never ending in this place. You know, how people can stay sane is still beyond me. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. If you're not into spirituality in some way, shape, form, or fashion, how are you keeping your sanity? Then Monique was on Club Shay Shay. I'm gonna have to keep doing that. I know it's corny as hell, but come on, y'all. A grown man saying Shay Shay, but of course they are trying to make everything genderless, everything gender fluid. Fuck out of here, whatever. Not to mention how much she bleached her skin. Now she's blind. Like, what? Right. How about that? I have a friend I just showed Konami recently, like maybe an hour ago. I showed Konami this friend of mine posted on Facebook that her hair is falling out now. And she bleached her hair blonde and she wear wigs all the time, like all the time. You know what I mean? And it's like, how are you surprised that happened? You know, bleaching is not good for your skin. It's not good for anything except disinfecting and cleaning something, cleaning dishes, mopping the floors, you know, disinfecting. You know, it's not good to put on your body. You know, people gonna do what they want to do. You know what I mean? People would. What is the root cause of all of this shit, though? You know what I'm saying? Where is this coming from? I know I might sound like a broken record, but god damn it, where is all this shit coming from? Like seriously. Uh, One thing I was sent to from Instagram. Instagram. Let's see. Pedophilia. Now, this is something that we do need to pay attention to. They have now classified this as a sexual orientation. I think this might be in let me see if there's okay, let's do it. Let's do it. If they flag me, oh fucking well. This needs to be seen though. This right here. Check this out.
Our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with. We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who, unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference.
Statistics indicate that there will be 1 or 2 of you who are struggling with some form of pedophilic interest. These people can't talk about their feelings because they know that they will be hated for it. I truly do believe that every person is longing for love at some point in their life.
All right, I can only take but so much of that. Dora fucking pause. This is bullshit. This is all bullshit. I don't care if they flag me, take the channel down, whatever. This is all bullshit. You know, trying to justify a sexual attraction to a child. That is bullshit. That is something we need to pay attention to, not fucking celebrity lives. Sorry. I don't mean to get into my emotions and my feelings, but that kind of shit really pisses me off. I thought it was crazy how you got into seeing cowboy movies and a couple months later she has a cowboy themed album. That was synchronistic, wasn't it? Peace, namaste, Katrina, and happy solo return. What's up, brother Terenzo? Yeah, ain't no fucking way. You know what I'm saying? And I know I try to keep my emotions from coming forth when I'm speaking publicly like this, but come on. When is people going to say enough is enough? When? Rome. Exactly. That's all it is. What's up, Legacy Sigma? But remember, I said a few years ago, said if they get y'all, and I just meant everybody, I meant in general, they get y'all to accept pedophilia. If they get y'all to accept that, watch all the other shit follow. It actually happened in reverse, kind of, sort of, you know. But this is why I say history is important. Learning cultures that are ancient is important. It's just not, it's not a thing that this current society feels is important. Okay. But if you study Rome and you study their culture and what they were into then, one of the most controversial movies that ever came out, I revisited as an adult. And yeah, it was banned here for a while. It was banned. I'm sure the older people in here know this movie. This movie is called a historical pornographic movie. I'm sure people, and I'm not picking on you, I'm just saying y'all of an age that you might know the movie. Konami, Terenzo, maybe Moonfeather. Big 44, huh? That's what's up. Peace and wholeness, Olethe. Olethe might know also. I'm not sure about Brother Moore. I'm not sure about Katrina either. Tosh maybe knows this movie, but see this movie when you get a chance. Okay. It is called Caligula. Caligula. Anyone heard of this movie? This is the shit that Rome was into. Boys for pleasure, females for procreation. Yep, absolutely. That's what Rome was about. It absolutely was that. You know, It is absolutely insane to me that anybody can watch that clip that I just showed and not feel a bunch of anger. Like, what? I mean, because think about it. A couple years ago, when they were making like damn near a mandate that drag queens get to perform their shows in front of children, there wasn't a single uproar. Well, okay, one. I remember one city stood up against it, but one. But other than that, people acted like this was just normal shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, too late. They already accepted the shit. You know what I mean? It's fucking same. They're gonna have me cuss this whole live. Never heard of it? Oh, it's a classic for all the wrong reasons. Right. It is a classic. It was banned here. It was banned. And for good reason, it was banned. I remember walking downtown in Philadelphia. That was one of my favorite places growing up. I was able to walk downtown, see the arcades, see the movie theaters. You know, I was a young child. So I remember seeing this movie poster for this picture of a coin of a Roman person bleeding out their eye or something like that. Whatever the poster was. And I remember I always wanted to see it because it's like this is banned and blah blah blah, speaking all sorts of bad about it, you know. So I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's why it's banned. That's exactly why it's banned. Yeah, that's mad old. Yeah, I thought Moonfeather might know it. Never saw the movie, but I'm familiar with Caligula as a historical figure. You know, I expect nothing less from Tosh. Tosh is very well informed. Malcolm McDowell, who also played Satan. Exactly. Malcolm McDowell also played in Fright Night, I think it's called. Yeah, Fright Night. That movie left a bad taste in your mouth. I had my wife watch it because she's a fan of Helen Mirren. She loves Helen Mirren. I was like, you ever see her when she was younger and what roles she played? And then I showed her that movie. I don't think I showed her the whole thing because my wife would. Y'all kind of met her. She's kind of girly. She's a girly girl. She's very feminine, a very feminine woman, and certain things she can't take. That will be one of them. I just showed her a clip of Helen Mirren. I was like, yeah, this was her when she was earlier, you know, in her career. You know what I mean? Crazy. Just absolutely fucking crazy. All right, let's go to the master teacher real quick. This is a clip from a very early Bobby Hemmett video that not people have heard of. Not many people have heard of.
What this person really was, and he was very upset about it. Diop reads these so-called, they call them the bas reliefs of Biblium El Maluk and Temple of Seti I. He reads these things, and that means that he knows everything there is to know about this stuff. Because it's funny, because in another part, we have them Libya. Libya, at an early age, if you trace the culture, it's only populated by the so-called Tamahu. I said, now that's strange. That means that it was populated by the Tamahu who had an early culture, but yet the white man mutates up here and is in barbarism, but he has enough sense to come down in his barbaric state and take over some black people. It don't make no sense. Then we understand that we have in Kemet, with Menes, or normal as some people say, goes in and he has to liberate upper and lower Kemet from a barbarian, mainly these Tamahu. You see, it's a lot of holes that's missing in the history, and a lot of people are confused about this stuff. You see, did the white man come and see? Was the white man in the caves, caves and hills of Europe as a barbarian? Then what is this man doing down here, fighting? Now you have if you can get the papyrus, you can get it out of the book, Ewalish Budge's book, From Fetish to God in Ancient Egypt. gorgeous book. Awesome piece of work. All black people should have that if you want to know some stuff about Egyptian mythology, as well as the master stuff. It's only $9. You can get it at the Sphinx, or you can order it. In that book, there's that papyrus, the wars, I think it's called the Contentions of Horus and Set, where they talk about this war that's going on in the Nile Valley, even before Menelek even comes in, and they kick these people all out in Europe. You see? So it's something about this holes in all of this stuff. And so what we need to do is we need to go all the way back and find out what's going on with this whole beast thing. Let's trace this thing back. Number one, if you was talking to C. Freeman L., he talks about the Akashic records. What these Akashic records is, right in your own memory bank. If you go high enough to get to the God state, there's a whole vast body of knowledge that will open up to you. You see? And we do know that the original people at least have access to this. The white boys can't do it. And all. Elijah Muhammad hit on this 66 trillion years of history, and we laughed at this stuff. You know, in his message to the black man, what, 1967 or 68? He hits on this stuff and we go, oh, this is the most ridiculous, bizarre type of history. And we disregard it. We didn't know that there's some stuff called Akashic records. And this contactee, Master Farad Muhammad, as well as his own self going to a high God state later on, because if you look at the message to the black man and look at the theology of time that just came out, it's a great piece of work. And this is coming from his mind.
So what he's talking about, right? And yes, Konami, I should have known you knew what that was. Yeah, that's Bobby's second lecture called The Human Artificial, right? He actually says it. Look how important history was to Bobby Hemmett, who we consider a master teacher. All right, he goes all the way to the Akashic records. He's like, fuck the history. Fuck Egyptian times. Let's go back to the Akashic records. You know what I'm saying? What he's talking about in Message to the Black Man and the Theology of Time. I remember buying this book. It's thick. Buying this book when I was in my Nation of Islam phase. And the Theology of Time blew my fucking mind away. It blew my, I was like, where would he have gotten this information? You know what I mean? What he's saying is that think about the human body and everything that it does, from breathing to disregarding. That's not the word I want. Dismissing. What's the word? Eliminating waste. You do all this. You don't actively or consciously think about these things. Your body fights off anything that's not supposed to be in it. You know what I'm saying? All these things are done automatically. You know what I mean? When you think about the human body, you think about a computer. They are still trying to create a computer that can keep up with the human body and the mind, right? What Elijah Muhammad alluded to in this book was that it took the first original man, 66 trillion years in the triple darkness of space to build himself up, to create the human body. Okay? And that the second thing that original man wanted was a companion. Now, looking back on that, I was around 23 when I first read that. Okay. So there's some holes there too that I don't quite agree with, you know, and I got to look at the source of where this is coming from also. But you determine for yourself, use discernment on whether or not you believe that to be true. Okay? That's one of Bobby's earliest lectures called The Human Artificial. I'm going to put it on Patreon to make it available. His shirt is how I identify if I've seen his lecture or not, too. What's going on, trip with me? I've seen that name somewhere before. Take a little trip with me. I think you be on the round table on Saturdays. Am I correct? I've seen that name before. No. Take a little trip with me. Welcome. Welcome. So my point is that Bobby has always went back to the root cause of why things happen the way they do, why people act the way they do, all right? Why certain races of people act the way they do, why certain cultures are still prevalent in today's society. This is wrong, all right? This is wrong. Absolutely, unequivocally, this is wrong. Okay? Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I'm going to try this today. Okay? Last time I tried this, I wasn't able to show y'all. We're going to try again today. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works.
This man was in Africa, in South Africa.
Let's see, y'all. Remember, I had a bunch of problems the last time I tried to show this. For your viewing pleasure, let's take a look. And of course, it doesn't work. That is mind-blowing to me. Wow. It still will not. Unfucking believable. It refuses to give this any sound whatsoever.
This man was in Africa, in South Africa, preaching in Durban, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Soweto, and was turning the African continent upside.
That guide is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, Volume 1, prepared by the Historical Research Department of the Nation of Islam, Boston, Massachusetts. The information contained herein has been compiled primarily from Jewish and historical literature. Every effort has been made to present evidence from the most respected of the Jewish authorities and whose works appear in established historical journals or are published by authoritative Jewish publishing houses. A substantial body of evidence that supports the findings herein was excluded by the editors and deemed to be from sources that could be considered anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish. Let's deal with that right now. Don't nobody ask me that damn silly question. Are you anti-Semitic? First of all, you've got to know what a Semite is to even ask me that question intelligently. But if you mean, am I against the so-called Jew? I'm against the so-called Jews' mama and the so-called Jews' mammy and all of them. So you don't have to ask me that. Table of contents. Jews and the African slave trade. Columbus, Jews and the slave trade. The Jews and slavery in the colonial South. America and the Caribbean. Brazil. The Spanish Inquisition, Suriname, Guyana, Barbados, Jamaica, Martinique, Nevis, Saint Dominican, St. Thomas, Jews and slavery in the colonial North America, New York, Newport, Rhode Island, Philadelphia, straight down the line. Jews and the Indian. I'll skip about Virginia, Georgia, Carolinas, Jews in the West, Jews, that section, Jews in the South, Jews, slavery and the Civil War, Jewish clergy and black slavery, Jews and abolition, Jews and the Confederacy, Jews and the economics of the Civil War, Reconstruction, blacks and Jews, Holocaust. We haven't just gone through a Holocaust, brothers and sisters. The Jews always crying and snotting about 6 million. I don't want to hear about their 6 million. To be very honest with you, I don't give a damn about their 6 million. I'm not here to apologize for what one cracker did to another group of crackers. This was a cracker killing crackers. I don't have nothing to do with that. A devil killing devil. 6 million Jews. And we can't turn on the TV nor go to the movie without the Jews, so-called Jews, telling their story. We lost over 250 million just in the Middle Passage coming over from Africa to America. Right. Not just 6 million. Right. Before you finish this book, you will find that the Jews killed a substantial number and were directly and indirectly responsible for the 250 million of our people who lost their lives in the Middle Passage, not to mention those of us who lost our lives since we've been here in the hells of North America.
I finally got it to play. I finally got that shit to play. Welcome, Ronan. Welcome, Mashari. Anyone else from who else is here? Hola, Mashari. Keith Ronan. I think I spoke already. I feel like it's Friday evening with my favorites. That's what's up. Look, y'all, we should be at the point where we can speak about stuff like this and no one gets offended. Because all he's talking, even though his language may be offensive to people to hear, because everything's offensive to people today. Every fucking thing is offensive. So he has a fiery kind of rhetoric, and he's unapologetic about the things he says. Not only is he unapologetic, he backs up his statements with facts, documented facts. Now, you know they don't like people who present facts. You know what I'm saying? So I still can't figure out, for 2 lives, I was trying to show just that one clip. You know what I mean? Remember I said before, if you dig deep enough, you will find that there's a small number of people who are directly responsible for everything you see. Every program, every agenda, every trend. You know what I mean? There's always have been a small number of people controlling the masses. There's always been that. It's always been that way. The problem is people don't want to research. Okay? People just don't want to research. You know what I mean? If you look at the live that I did with Denise Alvarado a couple weeks ago, brilliant live, brilliant woman, Creole woman. She said that hoodoo was born out of oppression. She's absolutely correct. One of our systems of magic was born out of a need to level the playing field and to get out of oppression and slavery. You see what I'm saying? There's a history there. So this is why some people get offended when other people are trying to appropriate the culture. You know what I mean? Let's call it what it is. It's appropriation. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to take over somebody's ancestors? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Am I rambling, or did anybody leave? Or did I offend anyone with what I just said? That blew my mind, for real. He's unapologetic because it's the truth. I found out so from that one clip. It is the truth. He has the books to back it up. He wrote a book called The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. You know what I mean? I find it interesting that I am finally able to show that clip, that one clip. And there's a campaign going on right now. I'm not sure if you've seen it. A lot of people I know don't watch television. There's a Stop Jewish Hate campaign going on. Did y'all know that? I'm like, when? Where? You know, I'm not making light of the Holocaust. I'm not making light of it. I'm just like, who's hating Jews? You know what I mean? Aren't they in prominent positions? Aren't they lawyers and doctors and members of Congress? What are y'all talking about? That's what I be thinking. You know what I mean? This is why I stress studying history. This is why I study the magic that I practice. I study where it comes from. Okay? Where it comes from. Babylonian magic is some powerful shit. It is. So is Akkadian, Lemurian, and Atlantean. All that magic that's ancient is very, very strong. The current is very, very strong. Okay? Not everybody can handle that current. All right? I don't give a damn what nobody says. Are y'all talking? You mean the Rockefellers, BlackRock, and the British? TRE, take a look. TR is rating. Please don't offend me, Magic. I'm sensitive. You're not sensitive. There's no way Ronan can be offended. There's absolutely no way. He's from Baltimore. Oh man. And I was looking at a clip the other day of Dru Hill. Dru Hill is one of my favorite artists of the 90s. And what's his name? Nokio, the songwriter that was a part of Dru Hill, the original group. He was doing an interview, and that Baltimore accent was so strong. I don't know any other accent that's like that except to say like a Brooklyn accent. But a Baltimore accent, there's nothing like it. Dude, the way they say dude, I mean, that's just one example, but yeah. I stay in a Black community, and there's a Jewish church down my street. Much respect, Magic. Tell the truth, broski. Namaste. And thank y'all for coming. This is why I do, to, through. Yeah, the way they say do fucks me up every time. Like, if you ever heard Snoop from The Wire talk, most Baltimoreans, is that right? Baltimoreans? Native Baltimoreans. I don't know how to quite say that, but most people from Baltimore speak like that, speak that way, except I never heard Charles S. Dutton speak with a Baltimore accent, even though I know that's where he's from. You know. Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn is very noticeable. Very, very noticeable. What had the masses let me stay on this for really quick. But they got people afraid to speak truth. You know, they shut down anything that does not serve their purpose or serve their agendas or speaks against them. All right. I'm talking about the so-called elite. All right. There have been a couple of my lives that I have been kind of limited or no ads because they say Some of my content is not suitable for all advertising. I don't think I've told a single lie here during none of my lives. I've not, even if I'm wrong about something, I will correct it. I don't know everything, nor do I claim to know everything. All right. I'm still learning. Okay. I'm a forever student. Right. But there's certain people and certain groups of people you are not allowed to criticize. Okay. You are not allowed to criticize them. I'll give you a guess. I'm not going to say it. And look, why do I even need to do that? You know what I mean? Why do I have to watch what I say? I thought this was freedom of speech. But there's been a secret relationship between them and Black people this entire time. Okay? All you have to do is research. Check out a movie by Black Thought called Brooklyn Babylon. This will show you some of the tensions that happened in New York. Brooklyn Babylon, starring Black Thought. He was with a Jewish chick. You should see the racism in that movie. I'm trying to think of another one. Anyway. Where? All right. Let's go back to Fall of America. Okay. I got it. Let's go back to the master teacher real quick. I want y'all to hear something else.
We are talking about a god called, the goddess Shiva. And you know, Shiva is nothing but a form of Osiris and Horus. But there's an entity called Shiva Hermaphrodite. So we're talking about, and they show pictures of them, both male and female, Shiva with one breast, and on one side is a female and one side is a male. Well, that's nothing but his mate, Shakti or Parvati, when they make a sacred union through heterosexual.
All right. Wrong clip. Give me 1 second. Wrong clip. But, hi, Charlie. How you doing? They even have members of the public mind control down here. They call Southern Baptists. I believe it. Baltimorean. That looks like, all right, I know you're not trying to be funny, Moonfeather, but it looks like it says Baltimore. I know you don't mean it that way. Oh, okay. It says an I in it. My bad. That's my bad. Okay, you just Baltimorean. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Again, peace, brother Caribbean Grimoire. Baptists love them some Israel. Yes, they do. Classic movie. Check out that movie, Brooklyn Babylon. We're in the era where what's up, brother? Hip hop elevation. We're in the era where the knower becomes the devil. The knower becomes the devil. The devil's advocate. Yeah. I've been away for a few now, so playing catch up. Hope everyone is safe and well. Thanks for asking. I believe everyone is doing okay. It's a beautiful day here in the great state of Texas. Damn it. Now I can't find the clip. Of course I can't. Of course I can't find it. Let me see. Let me see. All right, I found it, y'all. Hey. I'm late, but divine on time for the show. Baal T. Moore. That's an interesting way to yeah, I mean, people say that particular deity, but how many people actually know what that particular god was about? You know what I mean? This is why when people they say that none of this matters, like history doesn't matter. This is the era when Nothing people did before now matters. You see it all the time in sports. You see it in rap music, in music, period. They got these youth believing that nothing that came before them matters. You see what I'm saying? I'm stressing to you all and anyone who's going to watch this particular broadcast, always study the past, study past civilizations. Those of you who like to read, and I'm not trying to insult anyone. All right, to this clip, I go.
Historians of Niagara movement, which was a movement that started the NAACP, which was the first meetings that W.E.B. Du Bois was about, and the Spengard brothers and all those Jews in the Niagara movement and different things. They conceived this civil rights movement, which was also a Jewish movement that was later on from the 50s on into the late 60s or the mid 60s, which is a combination, which is what, 30 years ago, or 40 years ago, 1964, which was one of the last vestiges of putting those laws in things from 1954, 1955, 1964. But behind the scenes, it was also a Jewish movement. Now, which meant the Jews or the Jewish community, basically, you got to put that in?
Yeah.
Okay. That was 2 hours already?
You had a few you could have just eased into it, but it's all right.
Yeah, okay, go ahead and put it in. Y'all all right? I hear you.
You good.
How old are you now, man? How old are you now? How old are you now, Shabazz?
40.
40. And a grandfather. I'll be damn. Rolling Stone.
All right. So I think that's pretty much it. Y'all heard what he said. Who's behind these movements? Who's behind the feminist movement, behind the gay movement, behind the what they call it, civil rights movement? There were always a certain group of people behind all those. Okay. But a certain race of people fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. You know what I mean? And like I said, speaking about these particular topics can get you shut down. If they don't like what you say, think about that. If they don't like what you say, they can just delete it like it's not there. Okay. So why try to hide the past? Why try to hide history? Remember, we're in the middle of a reset. Don't forget, that's still going on. We're in the year 4 of the reset. Okay. And that's why people not caring about the past history, that's why this is a bad thing. You know what I mean? There have been resets before. All right. This ain't the first one. You got to look deep into history to find out what happened during those resets. See what I'm saying? I can't sit up here in an hour and tell you what I found, because that's why you have to research and read for yourself. Okay? Art appreciation is at an all-time low. Yeah, art, poetry, you know what I mean? Shout out Shabazz Wilson, Creative Eye Opener Productions. Oh, is that who that is? Okay. I had no idea. But, these art forms, they survived. I'm sure they'll continue to survive, but people don't appreciate poetry at all anymore. And I think what destroyed poetry and the appreciation for it was the slams, the what do they call it? Open mic? No. The performance art. The performance, they focus on the performance. So it's not focusing, it's not even the words anymore. It's the performance. You see what I'm saying? Somebody know what I'm talking about. What they call a spoken word artist? I guess that's what it's called, a spoken word artist. You know what I mean? When I used to go to poetry nights in Philadelphia at October Gallery, I used to go up there when I was called up there. I used to go up there with my notebook in my hand. I would read. You know what I mean? But there were a few people who would go up there and they would perform. There's a difference. See what I'm saying? At least in my opinion, there's a difference. There's a difference. There's a difference in the written word and then standing up there doing a performance. See what I'm saying? Now I believe this is all it is now. When you go to poetry venues and stuff, I always knew the Jews ruled the things we see. I always thought that this relationship between blacks and Jews had a good relationship, but I was wrong. Anytime you look at any of these master teachers, Bobby, Azazel, Phil, Dr. Blair, Khalid, Muhammad, you will see they all have a central theme to their teachings. They know who's at the source of every movement there is. They know, and this is why they spoke about it. You know what I'm saying? I was getting ready to say something else, and then I forgot. Damn. I'm trying to think of another movie that you can reference to show this, but the relationship goes, it's not surface level. It is deep. It's a deep relationship. Okay? Not many people are willing to do the research, though, or do the work. Exactly. That's exactly. The high school I went to was 23% Jewish in Hollywood, Florida. That's very high if you know your numbers. Those people call themselves Jewish American princesses in a nutshell. Yes, spoken word and slam. Exactly. Thank you. They say spoken word, and I'm like, when I say I write poetry, people will say, oh, so you do spoken word? I'd be like, no, I write poetry. You know, I had to distinguish myself away from that because now it is a subgenre of poetry, slamming, spoken word. All they looking for is those performances. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it's different. That's all. That's all I'm saying. A Stranger Among Us is the movie that Konami recommends. Anything that he has recommended, please watch. Okay. There's another clip. Let me see. I think that Konami sent me. Oh yeah, did y'all hear about this one? There's a judge, y'all. A judge, 67-year old. She shot him in his genitals. There's a whole story here. The man is now blind in one eye. Yeah. She shot him in his genitals. Ouch. Door pause. Damn. In his genitals. Wow. If I thought about it, Trading Places about this exact. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Trading Places told more truth than you know. Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd about how that's a perfect example. Thanks again, brother. Perfect example of how the elite play these games. They gamble with each other, fuck people's lives up without a second thought, just to see what would happen. Think about it. They say, you're talking about a wager? It's like we would, take everything from him and see how he does. He would turn to crime. And we put this guy in, give him a job and everything, and he would thrive. Because one guy said he's a product of a bad environment. The other guy was like, the other brother said that no, he's a Negro. He's probably been stealing since he could crawl. That movie it's a classic on a comedic level. It's a classic. At the same time, remember, y'all got to stop looking at these movies for entertainment because they put every goddamn thing in movies. Trading Places, classic example. If I could think about it, I would give y'all more examples. Surviving the Game with Ice-T, kind of. Nah, they was just hunting him. But if y'all can think of anything, put it in the chat box. Agreed, it's a great movie source. People are going insane. Yeah, people are really going insane. Y'all think that you cannot possibly believe now that this is some kind of coincidence, that people are just losing their minds. What has happened in the past couple of years? What has happened? What has happened? Do y'all look up in the sky and notice and pay attention to what's going on there? Do y'all know the cosmic events that's happened? Okay. People literally are going insane. Literally. There's a movie where, not just the movie, there's a movie called Three the Hard Way. It's a blaxploitation movie about 3 melanated men going up against this corporation who's trying to poison the water supply in Detroit. There's an episode of Mission Impossible, the original series, episode 10. Okay, first season, episode 10, where they are training these agents to blend in with American society. They themselves are the virus, so they can spread to thousands and millions of people. Okay, this shit came out in the 60s, y'all. All right, the more you look at it, open your pineal gland and decalcify your pineal gland and get more into spirituality, the more of these things you will see, and they will make sense. All right. He, as in Konami, is an incredible source for movie reference. Yes, he is. He absolutely is. They showed you 911 on the clock too. Yes, exactly. Exactly. There's tons of movies you just got to get past them. You got to stop looking at them for entertainment purposes. This is the problem. This is a problem. These are not movies. These are not entertaining movies. These are disclosures. Remember, universal law, they have to tell you what they're doing. They've been telling you this entire time. This entire time. If you go back and look at old black and white movies, you'll see these things there too. You'd be surprised. Sometimes my wife gets a little miffed at me. She's like, can you just watch the movie? I'd be like, I'm sorry. It's hard to turn off. It really is. Once you start seeing things, you can't unsee them. You know what I mean? Dozens of movie references. Dan Aykroyd named the town in the movie called Nothing But Trouble. This is the first time you saw Digital Underground on the big screen. Thank you for that. Yes, Volcania. Exactly. Past the outer script of the movie. Exactly. Lord of War is another movie. I've not seen that one. All things are being revealed. Absolutely. Phantasm. That Dean Koontz? I think the movie you're talking about, are you talking about Phantasm or are you talking about Phantoms? I don't think Phantasm was by Dean Koontz. I don't think he was out then. You talking about Phantoms by Dean Koontz. I was a fan, big old fan of his novels. Him and Stephen King. Yeah. You can't tell me that Stephen King doesn't know about the occult. You can't tell me that. I refuse to believe that. Some of the stuff that he writes is just impossible to know that he just make them up. Like the book called, one of his lesser known works, but one of, in my opinion, is one of his greatest, called The Talisman. The Talisman. About a boy, he goes on a search for a cure for his sick mother in an alternate world. The queen is dying. The queen is his mother's twinner, is what they call her. Alternate worlds. So he has to travel between the worlds. It's an excellent, excellent book. Excellent book. I wish they had made that into a novel. The Tommy Knockers by Stephen King. Also, what's the movie called? It's a short story they made into a movie where these things eat away the day. I think one of y'all know what I'm talking about. They eat away the day. The Langoliers, Stephen King, The Langoliers. They are truth. I mean, they gave you truth after truth after truth in the X-Files. Yeah, I've been wondering on some tips for opening the third eye. Meditation is one, and there's two substances that I can recommend for decalcifying the pineal gland: selenium, Selenium, and L-lysine, L-lysine. Those two minerals can help decalcify the pineal gland, but you gotta meditate too. Back to the Future is another one about time. There's so many about time manipulation. Fringe is an excellent series about alternate worlds like that too. The Never Ending Story, which we revisited 2 weeks ago. I was like, they put this, wow. You spelled it wrong, but it's the Langoliers. The Talisman sounds like the Never Ending Story. Sorta, not, no. The Talisman is an excellent book. I recommend to anybody to read that book. Where do you get that? You can get it at GMC or Amazon. I'm sure both of them have it. Too late, I've seen too much. Oh man. Of course, I did not get to everything I wanted to talk to y'all about. That's okay. Thursday will be here sooner than you know it. I had a good time today, though, especially with y'all suggestions. I want to thank everybody who joined me today, especially the newcomers. Namaste to you. Appreciate it. We'll see you back here again on Thursday. I will be putting Azazel Bay lectures on my Patreon from now on. There's only one there right now, but I have to make the time to put the rest of them there. I have a lot. I have a whole lot. I have Bobby Hemmett rare lectures too. I'll be, like I said at the beginning of this broadcast, I will be chatting with Peace Pipe TV on Saturday. Be sure and check that out. I hope y'all all have a great rest of your day. Again, thank you all those who have joined me today. I am the one and only, the mystical, the diabolical, the sorceress, the imaginative, the undisputed, the magical, and the hilarious Magick LaCroix. I will see y'all next time as I greet y'all in peace. Namaste. Peace, y'all.